The Yakuza franchise has been going around since the PS2 days. With plenty of different entries, the crime drama series was always really popular in Japan. But alas, in the West, the series really didn't hit the big time. Well, that was until this generation of consoles and the release of Yakuza 0 in 2017. The 80s set prequel was a huge hit for Sega and really did revitalise the franchise over here in the West, gaining loads of new fans in the process. Ever since then, Sega's been releasing loads of entries in the franchise non-stop, from the Kiwami remakes to Yakuza 6 to Fist of the North Star. Popularity of the series is at an all-time high. But now RGG Studios are back with a new spin to the Yakuza series called Judgement. Let's see how they did, shall we? Judgement, like the Yakuza games, is set in the fictional Japanese city of Kamurocho, and this time instead of playing the ex-Tojo clan member Kazumakiru, we're playing as ex-lawyer Takayuki Yagamari, who's a private investigator doing various odd jobs trying to make ends meet. But it's when a trail of grisly murders of a few gang members, it's when Yagami gets involved trying to get to the bottom of this. Like all other Yakuza games, Judgement has a fantastic story and is filled to the brim with plenty of memorable and literally jaw-dropping moments. Those who like their games with a great story, look no further. The game is like a damn good book. You just want to keep reading and keep going on. And this is helped by the tremendous cast of characters that help bring this story to life. And even though there aren't any mainline Yakuza characters here, the game's new lot of characters are just as good. Gameplay-wise, those who have played any previous Yakuza games before will have a good idea what to expect from Judgement. You explore the big city of Kamurocho, doing various side activities, whilst also doing a large selection of story missions that are tied to the game's main narrative. There's a new collection of new gameplay mechanics that are tied to Yagami's profession as a private detective. You have missions where you have to tail a suspect, which play out essentially the same as the tailing missions in the old-style Assassin's Creed games, which means they can get a bit annoying. You also have missions where you have to tail a person whilst catching them in a suspicious-looking action, to missions where you have to investigate areas and find the points of interest. The new gameplay stuff doesn't stop there. There's sections where you have to show evidence to witnesses and other major players in the story to move the game forward. A nice new inclusion is Yagami's drone, which can be used in missions where you have to search for clues, but that's not it, as the drone can be used anytime you like, so you can appreciate the huge amount of detail in Kamurocho. Overall, these new gameplay mechanics are a fun addition, even if trailing a witness can get a little bit annoying. Yakuza games are known for their fantastic and over-the-top combat, and Judgement is no different. Taking inspiration from the fantastic Yakuza 0, Yagami has two different fighting styles, one of which favours 1v1, whilst the other favours huge gangs. Each of the styles have a blast to play and full of insane and rather quite brutal attacks that are both flashy and incredibly fun to pull off. One of the best new moves is the ability to run up and jump off walls to smack a nearby goon. It's really satisfying, and it doesn't stop there, as Yagami's range of moves can be upgraded with skill points. You start off the game with a few cool moves, but once you get all the skills, you'll be pretty much unstoppable. Going through the story is one part of this enjoyable game. The other is the huge cornucopia of stuff there is to do in between missions. We have a big list of side stories to go through, these varying between stopping crimes and helping the citizens of Kamurocho in often quite hilarious predicaments. Unlike other games where the side missions feel like filler, the ones here, like in the Yakuza games, are a joy to play thanks to the well-written dialogue and enjoyable tasks. The Yakuza games normally have two big side mini-games that house loads of stuff to do, and Judgement is no different. Here we have drone racing and the VR lounge. Drone racing is exactly what it says on the tin. It's a collection of loads of drone races which are set around Kamurocho. It's a simple idea, but damn it works so well, as it's an incredibly fun little mode with some fantastically designed tracks that's fast and exhilarating to play. As for the VR lounge, it's a little bit of a so-so experience that alas doesn't use the PSVR. It's just a VR set in the game, which sees Yagami puts on some glasses to play some weird board game. It kinda works, but it wasn't really for me. But thankfully there's so much more to do that plenty makes up for the VR lounge disappointment. The Sega Arcade returns with a collection of old classic Sega games like Puyo Puyo, Fantasy Zone, Virtual Fighter 5, and a couple of other titles I won't spoil for you, but let's just say if you're a big fan of Sega's lesser known IPs, then you'll be happy. There's another Sega game included, but instead of being another retro delight, this one has been created specifically for Judgement, and this is a Kamurocho set spin-off to House of the Dead. Yes, the classic on-rail shooter returns, but with the new setting of Kamurocho. It's gloriously fun and easily my favourite game in the arcade of the Yakuza series so far. More like this please Sega, I really enjoyed it. So far, the side content for this game seems very generous for your typical game, but no, this is a RGG game, so there's plenty of more content here, from various challenges like mini in-game achievements for doing certain actions to eating all the food in the restaurants. There's hundreds of these challenges, plus you've also got the return of darts and the home-run baseball game. As I said before, there's a bucket load of side stories that don't have nothing to do with the main game, but just a collection of tales involving the public in often hilarious and heartwarming ways. Again, it's the brilliant writing of the side stories that really do bring this world to life. And that's not all, there's detective jobs to do, which sees you stalking out areas or following suspicious people, to making many different friends in the game with friends tasks, so yeah, there's a lot to keep you busy here. Lengthwise, if you just focus on the main story, that will take you around the 15 to 20 hour mark. But I'd say for a normal playthrough, doing the odd side quests and mini games and walking around, you're talking about 25 to 30 hours. If you want to aim for the elusive 100%, then you're easily talking 50 plus hours, which is really impressive. Audio-wise, the game features a nice mix of upbeat and high-tempo tracks that blast out the speakers in the midst of combat. Also nice slow tunes in the game's quieter moments, but easily the biggest thing about the game's audio is the voice acting. In previous Yakuza games, the voice acting is entirely in Japanese with English subtitles. The first game on PS2 did try English dub, but it didn't really work out that well. But Judgement interestingly includes the option to play the game in either Japanese or its new English dub, and for the most part I played with the English dub. And I must say they've done a very good job here. My only fault is that with the English dub that the lip sync can be a bit off sometimes, but still props for Sega and RGG Studios for doing a great job here. Presentation wise, Judgement is yet again another brilliant showcase of what the Dragon engine can do, with fantastic dynamic lighting, strong textures and incredibly detailed landscapes. It's a truly impressive sight. Character models are also detailed as ever, through both cutscenes and actual gameplay. As this is a Dragon Engine title, the game is locked at 30 FPS due to the extra graphical power on display here, and thankfully on the PS4 Pro it sticks to the 30 FPS cap for most of the time, whilst on the base PS4 the frame rate sticks around the middle 20. Conclusion time now, and Judgement is a truly wonderful treat from the team at RGG Studios. This new take on the Yakuza formula is a fantastic experience. From its intelligent and exhilarating storyline, fast and crunchy combat, and new investigation sequences, there's a lot to enjoy here. Kamurocho is still as mesmerizing as ever to explore, and it's easily the most beautiful Yakuza game to date, and it's also the most content-rich game as well. There's so many activities to keep you busy. It all makes up for probably the best Yakuza entry of this generation, so that's why I'm giving Judgement a 9.5 out of 10 with the title of amazing. Thank you for watching my review, like, rate and subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming. Bye!